The easiest $1,000 I have ever made. Hi, I'm John McNeil, and this is the Invest Strong Network. Welcome. So, all Invest Strong viewers know Brother John is constantly looking for ways of making a little greenery, right? Now, a situation had presented itself recently that opened my eyes to an entirely new way of doing things. And let me tell you, it was the easiest $1,000 I had ever made to start. All right, let me give you a little background. So I, in my home, which doubles as a bed and breakfast, started having some issues with a Samsung oven and range that I have in the kitchen for myself and my guests. So I had a couple repair guys come and look at it. They tell me that the problem is with the internal circuitry and that the oven and range is no good because Samsung no longer provides the parts that would be needed to repair it. What a bummer, right? So I go flipping through the local shops, appliance shops, and I come across a nice new or refurbished, let's put it that way, a Samsung oven and range stainless steel, which matches the kitchen set that I have. So I bought it, incorporated it into my kitchen. Now, the problem is, well, what do I do with the existing one that I had? Well, I was going to scrap it since I am, of course, into scrap meddling, right? And, but come to find out that the new oven and range was having the exact same problem as my incumbent oven and range, right? And so when I had an electrician come out and look at it, turns out the problem was actually in the electrical circuitry. Their water had seeped in and damaged some circuits far away from the appliance itself, and that was causing it to fail. Once I got that fixed, now I have two fully functional stainless steel Samsung oven and ranges. Well, what to do? Well, I elected to hold on to the new one, right? And then try to sell the other one. Now, that's quite a cumbersome process. You ask around, maybe someone could use an oven and a range, and hopefully they'll give you something for it. I actually asked the company that I bought the new one from, well, hey, would you guys be interested in purchasing this used oven and range? And, maybe you guys can turn around and resell it. They declined, right? So I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do with this? So a friend of mine said, hey, why don't you use OfferUp? So I'm like, OfferUp, what is that? Go look into it. It's basically a website that is like Craigslist, but much, much better, right? It allows you to do analytics, pricing, all kind of really cool things for superfluous items that you are looking to get rid of. I posted this thing on OfferUp, and in one day I had 2 offers, and this baby was out the door by day 3 with the price that I had requested. Yes. So that was just touchdown. And then I began to say, well, perhaps I could replicate this, right? So I started going through my closets and pulling out all kind of things. Some I've never used. Others I had not used for years that were still in perfectly functioning condition. And between Craigslist and OfferUp, I was just floating those babies out there, and they were just going out the door. Yes, amazing, right? So I started off this project back in late November of 2022, hoping to just get rid of a few things. And then I decided to really ramp this thing up and clean out all my closet, the garage, everything. Also, I would almost do a Fred Sanford like deal where around the community, people, they just throw stuff out, leave it for heavy trash collection. I go through there, been able to salvage some things, clean them up, repair them, put them on OfferUp, and they've gone every time, right? Amazing. And so far, since late November of 2022 until now, very early February of 2023, I have sold right around $1,300 worth of superfluous personal belongings, otherwise known as junk, right? And it is the absolute easiest $1,300 I've ever made. Now, with that being said, it's not all that easy, right? So normally any used items you have, you're going to have to clean them off, perhaps even perform some repairs to them if you're going to offer them to the public. I was actually personally blessed because I have a guest at my bed and breakfast. He had some medical issues. He's recovered now, had a bunch of medical equipment that was just laying around that he basically just gave to me and allowed me to sell them. And most of them have sold, and actually sold lickety split, right? And this project has caused me to do a lot of research, right? Because pricing is critical. And there's a price that you may think is appropriate for the item that you're putting up. But when you go into the market and you look at things and make comparables and things like that, you may actually come to an entirely different conclusion. And that's actually happened to me on more than one occasion, right? Where I've had to go in and actually slash the price of an item that I've put up for sale on Craigslist or OfferUp, right? But that's okay. I mean, as long as you can get to the right price that you feel comfortable with and that the buyer feels comfortable with, then you're in the clear, right? And so I would encourage everyone out there in YouTube land that's watching this video, please go through your closets, go through your attic, go through your garage, and certainly if you have storage rooms or storage facilities that you're paying for, go through these things, pull out the stuff that you really think has value, clean it up, repair them, take good pictures, and post them on OfferUp or Craigslist or perhaps even eBay. I have not used eBay yet, but eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Post them on there and turn that stuff into money, right? It'll be the easiest few bucks you've ever made, right? And you may even want to turn it into a full-time enterprise. I know for myself, I have this thing for avocado plants, right? And so in December and again in January, I began seeding avocado pits in pots that I plan on selling in the spring and see what I can get for them, right? For my avocado seedlings. I think it'll be pretty nice, right? And I'll be able to price them at the lower end of the range. So hopefully here in the Houston area, that will spark a lot of interest. Now, with this all being said, posting things on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp or Craigslist or even eBay can come with some challenges. And one of the primary things you have to look out for are these scamsters, right? And yes, unfortunately, there are scamsters out there who would love to lay hands on your money. And they'll use one of these online sites to do that. Well, how do they do it? I'll let you know in my very next vid. But for now, please, friends, make extra bucks. Get rid of a lot of things that you know, unless they have real sentimental or practical value for you, you can feel good parting with. Post them on one of these sites and just turn it into money. And it's actually pretty fun. I mean, in addition to making a bit of bread off of it, which is always nice, it can actually be really fun. And you actually get a chance to meet some really cool people, which I certainly have. And I appreciate that part of it also. All right. So those are my thoughts for this week. Please let me know what you have experienced, if in fact you've used any of these sites to sell things, what have benefited you, or what pitfalls to look out for. Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. And I'll respond to each one. I promise. Also, please hit the thumbs up button for me. Yay, thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe. Please subscribe to Invest Strong. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much, friends, and good blessings.